So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to part 2 of the Dota Radio Morning Show, episode number 11. And we are back with our guest here, 7ckngMad, position number 5 for Sigma. Joining us now, Sebastian, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing pretty well, thank you.
Yes, thank you for being here. I know you are a busy man, and glad you were able to make some time for us. So, before we get too far underway, we're going to talk about a lot of stuff today. MLG, we're going to talk a little bit about that skirmish with Alliance y'all got into, some of your success here following 6.79. All those going to be topics. And let me see if I can just get Greg in here. I know he's stuck on mobile, and he's making some special time for us. So let me just... there it is. And we'll bring him in. Hopefully. I think he's standing by trying to juggle all these guests. Hello, Greg, is that you?
Oh, it's me. What's going on, man?
It's you. Oh, man. A lot is going on, buddy. Drama, the topic of this episode. So, to give a little backstory here, guys, this morning, Greg himself tweeted some interesting randomness about Sigma.Int being a random team, unworthy of MLG Columbus, and he felt bad about it. He tried his best to redeem himself on Twitter, but crowd controlling all those angry tweets is sort of an impossible feat. Greg, the floor is yours.
All right, so I'll just give a brief summary of basically what happened. Let's just start with what I meant by that tweet. Well, what the tweet actually said. So I think exactly what I said is I was sad that there was a random team for the 9th team, but I was happy that there was 9 teams still going to Columbus.
Yep.
And I got a lot of flame because people thought that I meant that Sigma was like a random team, as in like like a pub stack or like a bunch of nobody players or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And what I actually meant was it was like random by selection. Sigma hasn't really participated in any of the, MLG qualifiers, full sail, or anything like that. But 140 characters at 9 in the morning is just not enough, man. Not enough characters.
And Sebastian, I liked your tweet. I suggest that you form a team and compete. Smiley face. Oh, burn! I liked that. That made me laugh hard this morning. Milk came out my nose.
It was pretty brutal, but I hope he knows that I didn't mean that. But I mean, basically, what I was getting at here is that MLG invited a team that hadn't really participated in anything else instead of a team like Stay Free or something, who have been in a lot of the qualifiers, shown good results, things like that. So that's pretty much the essence of the story. But man, people were not happy.
Yeah.
People that don't even follow me were flaming me. It was like, whatever.
It's fine. To be honest, the offense is not really taken. It was more of a joke. My tweet was more of a joke, actually.
Right. Well, I'm happy about that.
Nah, don't worry. I mean, it happens. And anyway, everyone has the right. Even if you meant it, everyone has the right to have his own opinion. But I know you didn't mean it, so it's not even the case. No. To few words on that topic. Of course. I mean, it's a bit frustrating for teams like us. Sure, we reformed after the international, and we weren't really involved in the MLG qualifiers because it was reserved for North American teams. That's the only reason, actually. But of course, we are involved basically in every other big tournament apart from Dream League, I think. And that's also a topic, maybe we'll talk about it, but being in the runner-up of DreamHack is not enough to get an invite. So, it's a lot added to this. And of course, Stay Free is a great team, but they're pretty new and they didn't accomplish much. So I understand that they participated in the MLG qualifier and therefore they deserve the invite. We were not really involved in who deserves the invite the most. We got it.
Yeah.
We're glad that we get it. And if it was Stay Free, then we would just congratulate them and hope they do well there,
Yeah, I mean, for me, Adam actually tweeted at me as well, putting up that post that he put on Reddit. I definitely don't blame MLG for picking, Sigma. You guys are a very stable team in comparison to, Stay Free, especially given all the things that just happened with NAC. And so, I don't really blame them I think you guys have a little bit more stable. The roster is a little bit more kept together, and he knows that nothing's going to blow up in his face.
Yeah.
Which seems to be happening a lot lately.
Yeah.
But
that was I actually have that. I had that Reddit post ready to go, Greg. I got it up right now. I'm on the ball today. I'm feeling it. I was glad. I really have to give a lot of love to Adam App, man. He has been doing such a good job keeping us up to date with everything that's been going on regarding MLG Columbus. I hope they keep it up because it's been refreshing to get some transparency and look in behind the scenes. But yeah, it was an interesting way to start my morning, though, Greg. I do want to thank you for starting my Wednesday with a good laugh. That was a lot of fun.
It was an interesting way for me to start my morning, man. I was like in the car, I was like tweeting. I was like, Sigma, all right, that's kind of neat. And I just like shot off a random tweet, and like, usually you might get a couple replies here and there, and then, like I get to work and I like check my inbox. I'm like, oh shit, what did I do wrong?
And it's too late. You can't cross.
Oh yeah, you can't take it back. It's over,
once
man.
It's exactly once it's said, it's said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But good luck to you guys. I'll be at the event, so I'll be able to apologize in person.
It's fine. I really mean it. Don't it becomes really big with Twitter and social medias in general, but it's not like I'm not even sure my teammates. So it was just me answering because I checked Twitter, but
yeah, All right. Actually, I have a question for Charlie related to the earlier stuff.
Do it.
Are you guys like? Is Demon and Infinity still a possibility for the new roster, or are you guys looking in like completely separate direction? If you have no answer, that's also fine.
Didn't you see my tweet earlier this week? I'm making a team with me, Cody, Beatus, and +1. And I'm gonna be a player now.
All right. Well, I'm sure AUI taught you, right?
Are you kidding me? I taught AUI. That guy sucks.
Shots
seriously,
fired.
Though, I don't know. We're just waiting for the right opportunity right now.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah. Well, it is going to be fun. Greg, I'm glad you're going to Columbus so we can all hang out and have a good time. Are you staying in my room, by the way? Did we ever figure that out? Are you?
No, I think Mott. I think me and Mott are spooning.
All right, because you've been flip-flopping here. First you weren't, then you were, now you're not again, and I don't know how to interpret this. I don't know how I feel about our relationship now.
It's what we call mixed signals.
All right, fair enough. Well,
all right. See you later, guys. I'm at work, so I gotta go actually do work. But
all right.
Thanks for having me.
Bye, Greg. Always a pleasure.
Bye.
Oh man. So guys, remember you can follow all of Greg's crazy tweets at WhatIsHipTV, and also check out all of his stuff, whatiship.tv. They do the Chat Wheel, that audio-only podcast. I'm sure some of y'all out there are interested in more audio-only Dota 2 content. So, all right, that was a fun, fresh way to start that interview. So let's go straight into it here. We talked pretty in-depth about the journey of you guys being able to be that 9th team into MLG Columbus. How was it in terms of interfacing with MLG? How did that interaction actually come about? Did you guys approach them as a possibility, or did they approach you as a possibility for being the 9th team?
Actually, it was quite fortunate the way it happened. I didn't even know they needed a replacement, and I got, how's it called on Twitter? I got highlighted, or I don't know how it's called, but by a tweet from Beatis.
Oh, yeah.
He was answering MLG. Someone from MLG staff, from one of the organizers, tweeted that they possibly needed to replace the last team, and he asked for suggestions. And one of the suggestions was actually us. So since I was hashtagged or whatever it's called on that tweet, included on that tweet, then I answered that indeed we would be interested. It was I didn't know back then if we could make it, because of course it's really short notice. It's going from Europe to the United States. But yeah, that's how it happened. And then I talked to the guy, and he was like, "Yeah, Sigma would be a great option. Can you make it?" And we were able to, and here we are.
Yeah, that's awesome. And how did you guys manage to get all those travel arrangements put together? And I mean, it's literally like 10-day notice, something like that, 11 days. How did that come about?
Well, that's thanks to our sponsor Sigma. Right now, it's a bit unclear what it is exactly. As I said on publicly several times, we will give more details soon on what is Sigma. What I can say is that as players and as managers and as staff and as esports lovers in general, we're not satisfied with a lot of stuff that's going on, the way things are handled. I mean, of course, there's a lot of good stuff, but looking at what's not as good, many players right now, there's a lot of controversial topic. I mean, there was a blog from Loda. I saw tweets from Fnatic guys about how the players don't get as much as they deserve. Not that they deserve a lot, but they deserve what they work for and stuff. Sigma is about that, so we're trying to fix and handle stuff how we think it should be handled.
Right. Interesting. And on that note, talk to us a little bit about what happened with Alliance. That was a hot topic over the weekend, I think. I tweeted at Loda asking if you would come on as a guest, but I guess I'm too small for the likes of Loda's epicness. He didn't even reply to my tweet. I was a little bit hurt. But what happened a little bit? Alliance versus Sigma, you guys had a match that needed to be rescheduled because of Alliance's time in Nexon. They were the ones that overbooked. You guys couldn't find a time that worked for both of you. I think there was an opportunity where you guys could have played. They would have been missing Ake, and you guys would have been missing someone. I'm forgetting who.
Me. Was it you? Actually me.
Okay, it was you. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There was the captain. That was a big deal. So that was kind of that was one of the things that added to that whole drama of there was a time, and then it came down to the debate of, okay, is a captain the same as a support? And there were some angry tweets. Admiral Bulldog called you guys a bunch of dicks. Ouch. Yeah. That must have hurt. The Bulldog nipping at your heels. And then he deleted it. He apologized, deleted his lies, standard stuff here for esports. Talk to us about that from your perspective. What happened? What went wrong? What was the breakdown in communication?
It's, again, that's linked and, how to say, this whole movement with trying to make esport and the Dota 2 community and scene a better place to live. It's the same aspect. Teams are pressured a lot nowadays with the whole tournaments. There is no organization to actually put some order in this. So teams like Alliance, of course, it's even more the case for teams like Alliance because they're wanted everywhere. They basically have to play on one day a tournament in Korea, one in the United States, and maybe 3 online. Of course, It's impossible for them. So it's you can't imagine how much scheduling issues there are on Skype. It's basically managers are doing this full time, and even players have to get involved because it's such a mess that it's impossible to schedule everything.
Right.
And at one point, you end up having scheduling problems, and that was So basically, tournaments now put their schedules 1 month before the actual tournament, and they want to make sure that everyone can play. All the dates are defined in advance. You have wildcards, of course. If something goes wrong, there is a possibility to move. But on that specific topic, the game was scheduled to be on the 13th, if I'm not wrong, and it's basically the most important game for both teams because we're both 3 or 4-0. I don't know, but we're fighting for the top of the group, and the first one of the group goes directly into the semifinals. So that means top 4, and top 4 is paid in the Dota 2 Champions League. Okay. So it's a very important best of 3 for both Alliance and us. And they realized, I don't know, but they confirmed the 13th, and they realized a bit too early. Too late before the actual match that they couldn't make it because they were supposed to be in Korea at that point. So they asked us to change and to play. The 13th was the Tuesday, and they wanted us to play on the Saturday or Sunday, which wasn't possible because I was away for personal reasons. Right. And there was, of course, no way we would play that important of a match without our captain. And that would be me. So we told them that, and Bulldog was like, well, it's kind of fair because Ake is not there neither, and he's very important for Alliance. Well, this is something we really don't deny, of course. And personally, I think Ake is I completely agree with that.
Right.
But we were like, you have scheduling problems. We're sorry, but we don't want to play 4 versus 4. It's 5 versus 5 games. So either we find another date, or you just you find a solution. We're not gonna play without our captain. That was basically it. It's very frustrating for everyone, and it was frustrating for Bulldog. That's why I don't blame him.
Right.
Although his tweet was very, very immature and highly disrespectful, but whatever.
Right.
So he went for that, and then there was some Reddit thread where people just he got a lot of hate going on him because of his tweet, because it wasn't right. I understand the point, but the way he did it wasn't right for sure. And then he apologized and etc.
Yeah, exactly right. And when I saw it, really my takeaway wasn't so much that, oh man, you guys, there's something really serious going on between these two teams, as much as a generalized frustration with how stressful scheduling is, and that was the source of that outburst. It really had nothing to do with you guys. It just happened that you guys were in the wrong place at the wrong time, or maybe the right place at the right time, depending on how you look at it. So,
yeah.
So on that same note, I mean, what can we do right now? There has never been this level of saturation in terms of tournaments, and not just there's always been a lot of tournaments, but not like this. I mean, there are multiple tournaments with 30, 40, 50, $60,000 on. I mean, hell, even this MLG tournament, $100,000. There's a lot of money out there, so that's good. That means players can now play full time and have more money coming at them. The potential to win, but it's not sustainable income. And now we're almost at the point where big teams can't even play in every tournament. I was reading about Starladder Season 8. Some of the big teams won't be there. No Alliance, maybe Na'Vi, and that's a problem. Now we're lowering the quality of events. As a player, what can we do to fix that? Is it a matter of just consolidating events, having less events with more money on the line, having some sort of a league? I don't know. What do you think we can do?
It depends. There are many ways to fix it. What's happening right now is that basically tournaments are now facing competition. They're all competing with each other to attract teams. Because it's like the business model from like the tournament and etc. is very viable, so everyone gets into it. Of course, there is a need for some organization, or I don't know how we would call it, but that would centralize a bit all this and try to make one schedule or something, something like this. No, of course, like you said it yourself. Of course, it's not sustainable in the way that, of course, for teams and the way it works, and that's also a topic that's being discussed amongst the professional players and also the staff, the casters, everybody that's involved, somehow involved in the scene, in the competitive scene, that teams should be paid for their participation at one point. So because it's time they invest. And that's the way we go right now. Dota 2 Champions League is acting that way. MLG Columbus is doing the same, and those tournaments will attract the biggest teams for sure. That's one reason one of the reasons I think that Dota 2 Champions League attract more teams than Starladder did, because if you have a conflict in the schedule, and I'm pretty sure that was the idea behind the creators of those tournaments. They were like, it's gonna be 2 tournaments, and we're just gonna secure income for teams on ours. Because our competitor, meaning the tournament, is not doing that, and then the teams had to choose, and they obviously chose the one that that was securing them some income, and that's the way it's going right now. I think it's the right way. Maybe less tournaments with bigger. I don't know if it's the need to have bigger cash prize, but there is the need to secure income from teams because it's like a work. You can't gamble to be top 3. It's not sustainable that way.
Yeah, exactly. We've heard about that as well, where sort of any kind of free market-esque type thing like that, the best teams will float to the top, and you'll have 3 or 4 teams that make a huge amount of money and that are really rich, and then you have all these kind of like middle-class teams that are all fighting for this little bit of money, even though in the grand scheme of things, you're all, 0.05 top-tier % across all the players, that upper echelon. Still not sustainable, though, when you're rolling the dice. So that's an interesting thought. The way of the future is tournaments paying you guys almost a small salary to be a part of the tournament, and then there's a cash prize on top of that to incentivize competition. And I like that a little bit. It's a nice middle ground between sort of having one big centralized. I think the idea of having a global KESPA-esque thing for Dota is something that we should move towards very slowly and very lightly, because there's a lot of potential for that to get out of control in terms of who holds all the power. That's what scares me about that. But I like the idea of tournaments securing a little bit of cash for players, because that does seem to be the problem, the sustainability. It's scary to quit your job or quit school for the chance at making a lot of money versus actually, all right, great, I'm at least making $1,000 a month just for participating in this tournament. That kind of stuff. So let's talk about you guys participating in tournaments. Since 6.79, you guys have gone 18-6 of all the matches recorded on Dota, giving you guys about a 75% win rate. And even you guys have done a couple of interesting picks. I noticed you guys ran Treant a couple of times, and you ran Lycan at least 4 times or so out of those 25 games. Talk to us about all of that in general a little bit. How have you guys been able to secure that pretty positive win rate here following the big patch?
I think we're very comfortable with the way things are going with this patch. It's very aggressive, it's oriented aggressive, very aggressive and pushy playstyle. This is the playstyle we tried to adopt before even the patch. It opens also more possibilities when it comes to the laning, all the lanes you can do, and of course, consequently, it's all the heroes you can pick. Basically, if you're able to get XP on the offlane, that's just an example, then lots of heroes are viable, not only Prophet that can pull creeps or Bounty Hunter that can go invis or, so it opens up all the possibilities. And I think one of the assets of our team is that we have, like, me and my teammates, we have a large pool of heroes we can play and use. We're very old school players, so I mean, we're used to lots of strategies, and we know how to play many strategies that disappeared for months and maybe 1 year right now. So I think that's the biggest strength we have right now. Of course, that requires even more practice to make it, almost perfect. But yeah, I think that's the main factor right now. From my perspective, teams are not really adapting to the patch. I mean, a lot of random random stuff is going on with the draft, and every team picks 5 different heroes from one game to the other. That means they're still looking for what's the best. I think the big the big change will come after MLG. Usually when you have such a phase, you had one before TI3. You have some phases like this after, like, post-patch phases, if we can call it that way. It usually settles down after the big tournament when a team dominates the other. Then they will just dictate what will be the meta game for the next weeks or months.
And that's definitely a good point. And with $100,000 on the line, I mean, I think there's at least a fair chance that some of these teams may have a couple of pocket strategies up their sleeves. Stuff they haven't tried out in other tournaments yet that they may want to showcase at MLG. You never know. Food for thought. The other standout statistic I saw for you guys is, of your 24 matches, you've picked Gyrocopter in 10, or you've been able to play Gyrocopter in 10, pardon me, where he hasn't been banned out. You guys have gone 9-1 with Gyro. If I was the coach against your competitors, man, that would be my number one advice. Just ban that fucking helicopter.
It's actually a great hero. It fits perfectly to our playstyle. It's a hero that can start fighting very early on. And he's a great laner, of course. He's probably, possibly one of the best laners in the game, of course, thanks to Rocket Barrage.
Right.
His first ability. Yeah, I to be honest, I didn't know we had such good stats with it. I'll take it as a point. You might be one of the reasons of our next wins, maybe, if we first pick it. Obviously, it's a very versatile hero. You can go hardcore late game. He's one of the best late game in the game, like in Dota 2, and you can just put pressure early on with it. That's why we use it.
Right. And thinking about MLG a little bit in the upcoming event, do you have any predictions? Can you give us your top 3 of all the competitors there who you think is going to make it into that final top 3 bracket?
Is it top 3 or top 4? I'm not sure, but
Well, yeah. Just saying top 3 in general.
Yeah, okay, yeah. It's gonna be hard. Of course, like the teams invited are just, it's so many good teams. I'm not sure, but DK is coming, right?
Yes.
I need to double check, but okay,
yes,
so
absolutely.
DK is coming.
Even DK is coming. It's great teams. A lot is at stake, as you pointed out. I don't know if we think we can make it to top 3. Of course, we think we can make it to top 3. Else we wouldn't even go there. But we're competitors, and one thing I can say is that the most difficult it is, the most interested we are in doing a result, and the more practice we will get before we get there. So from my experience and knowing my teammates, I know that to have such big of a challenge will just help our motivation to grow, till the D-Day comes.
Yeah, it really is a big opportunity for you guys, because kind of coming in here at the last second, it's sort of it's just big. If you guys could make it to the top, it would be a really interesting kind of Cinderella story. Oh, dyslexia.
Exactly, and the people question, and it's natural. I don't blame anyone for questioning. Why this team and why not another one, like an American one or whatever. So it's the perfect situation for us to prove that we deserve the spot.
Right.
The thing is that with us, it happened many times now. Before the international, it happened 2 times with the international where people question, should they get an invite? I don't think they should, etc. And in the end, we didn't get it 2 times, and 2 times. Few weeks after we qualified, and then everybody was like, okay, I guess they deserved it if they were able to qualify. So the situation goes on all over again, but it's our fault, of course, because we had lots of player shuffle going on. Right now and we made it clear it's over. The lineup is stable till International 4. So we just have to prove ourselves and keep on working till results come, you know.
Right, sure. Charlie, do you have anything you want to throw his way here?
Sam Boba always says that you are one of the smartest players that he's ever talked to. How do you feel about Sam?
That's really kind of him. To be honest, I can give him back the words, because in my opinion he's one of the best players in the scene, and he has been one of the best players in the scene for quite a long time now. I have like immense respect, especially for Burba and Fluff and stuff. Like, I've been following those players, and they know it. Like, when I got the chance to tell them, I told them right away. I've been following what they do and how they play and adapt for a very long time. Yeah, that's basically all I have. Like, and they're doing great right now. In my opinion, Liquid is one of the best teams in the scene. I mean, they are, but I mean, regardless of the results, even if I had no stats, whatever, I would still think they're one of the strongest teams, just because of the fact they are players that have great game understanding and great skill, of course. So
would you let him kiss you at MLG?
I would let him hug me, I guess. I'm not sure where this is going, but
because I
go for
didn't
yes.
let him kiss me either, but he did so at ESWC.
Oh, did he? Then I guess I would.
Remember, it was at that terrible after party.
It was a terrible after party. It's always after parties are always terrible. That's the thing with after parties.
Oh man, one of the last things I want to ask you about, though, is nothing to do with MLG. Talk to us about Wisp a little bit. That hero has just completely fallen off since 6.79. Do you think that's an overreaction? Do you think Wisp is kind of useless, only in niche lineups? Do you guys have any plans to mix Wisp into your lineups?
Well, to be completely honest, I'm glad you bring this, because I think it's overreaction. Of course, it's a nerf. I mean, to a certain extent, but I think Wisp is still viable. We still play Wisp, for example. One advantage we have right now is that we only play scrims, since we're not involved in the 2 tournaments that are going on right now. This will be actually a great asset for us and for MLG, because we will come completely nobody will know anything about what we play right now. Well, now I just give it away, but we do play Wisp. I think it's still completely viable. Wisp is not only about the stunning combo Wisp CK or whatever.
Right.
Like, the way I see Wisp, it's more like it's 2 major stuff. It's the map control Wisp offers, and it's still the same. The relocate is still the same spell. It's like one of the best spells in the game, so it offers you huge map control. And he's also he accelerates of course the farm of your carry, and he makes your carry stronger in fights. But right now it's not only that, he completely nerfs he boosts your carry, and nerf the opponent's carry, because of the attack speed reduction. It's 100%, I think, so it's really huge. So Wisp +1 can out carry any, like, regardless of the farm the enemy got. So I think it's very viable. Like, of course, maybe now it's more viable with a Tiny or a Gyro or whatever you use it with, than with a CK, because of the stunning combo that disappeared.
Right.
But yeah, in my opinion, Wisp still deserves maybe not first pick, but in the top picks for sure.
Okay. Cool. That was sort of No Tail's take a little bit when we talked to him on Monday. But Fnatic, I think, with looking at the stats in 6.79, Fnatic has picked No Tail over like half the times that Wisp has been picked total since 6.79 came out in competitive. It's ridiculous how much more they play Wisp than any other team. But I like seeing Wisp play, so I'm glad to hear another pro player say some positive things about poor little EO there, because he hasn't been getting much love.
The thing right now, from my perspective, is that so many heroes are viable because of this patch. This patch made all the heroes viable because of the way XP and lanes work right now. But it makes it very difficult, and I can really tell you that as a drafter, because basically you have first pick and nothing went on because you have only 2 bans on both sides, so you don't know what your opponent is up to, and you don't even know what you want to be up to, unless you have, of course, a precise idea. But so basically the first picks is like more like testing. Of course, it can depend whether you have first pick or Dire or Rage, and then you go for different strategies. But I mean, right now every team has to find a playstyle, and since there is no meta game, like a precise meta game, the thing with the meta game, it's not that it's necessarily the best picks. It's just that since a team is dominating with the picks, then they show the others how to play let's say a specific lineup to perfection, and the other can just copy what they do, and that's basically why you end up with a meta game, because people copy each other. That's how it works at the competitive level for sure, because whenever you have a good idea and show it, then people will just use it. Why not? Wouldn't be dumb to not to. So, but right now, there is nothing specific going on. We just have to wait, I guess, for the next big tournament.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right about that. It will be fascinating to see, following Columbus, how just how much everything changes, what the big breakout hero will be, breakout combo. There's going to be something for sure, some crazy, across all those teams, all those amazing games, just mixing the metas of North America, China, and Europe together.
Exactly, and China is here. It's going to be amazing for sure.
There's bound to be some crazy plays, some crazy upsets, all that kind of good stuff. So, awesome. Well, my friend, it has been an absolute pleasure. I have to say, your name doesn't really live up to your persona here. I imagined you being a lot more
glad
angry.
It's the case.
But,
I'm not angry.
Yeah, you're...
I can get, but
Okay.
nah, not really. Like, it's very, very rare.
Awesome. So I've had your Twitter up. It is 7ckngMad Dota. No I. That was I had typed it with an I. Then I had to go back and fix all the assets.
Sorry about that. It's not easy.
So 7ckngMad Dota. Make sure you follow him on Twitter, guys. And any closing words, any shout outs you want to give for us here, buddy?
Well, shout out to Sigma, shout out to my teammates, shout out to everyone that will listen or won't listen to this interview actually, and special shout out to Shiba and Funzi.
Okay.
That would be all. And
Awesome.
Thanks a lot for your time and for the interview.
Oh, the pleasure is ours, my friend. It's always good to hear from pro players, and your timing couldn't have been better. Now being in MLG, the stuff following Alliance, good stuff. We really appreciate it. And actually, getting a lot of positive remarks from chat. Usually people are a little more apathetic, and someone actually said, hey, we need to bring this guy on again for more analysis, because I really like what I'm hearing here. So
great.
You get the viewer seal of approval. So again, the pleasure is ours. That about wraps up, though, guys. That is the end of the Dota Radio Morning Show, episode number 11. Hippie will be back with us on Friday. I don't know who we're going to have Friday. Hopefully we'll have decently high-profile guests. There are a couple people in the woodwork there, so pretty excited about Friday. Remember, guys, check us out on the web, dotaradio.com/morning show, dotaradio.com/morning show. That's where this will be archived and uploaded. The audio-only podcast version will be up shortly as well. And make sure you email into us, morningshow@dotaradio.com. Someone actually just sent me an email while we were doing this show telling me not to use so much. I would sound more professional if I didn't use those filler words. I'm sorry. I'm trying my hardest. But until Friday, guys, be kind to yourselves, be kind to each other. We'll see you on episode 12 of the Dota Radio Morning Show, our month anniversary, coming up this Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern time, 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Take care.